In her essay Historicizing the Postmodern, Hutcheon addresses a widespread critique of postmodernism that it is ahistorical. She refutes it by arguing that postmodernism is deeply engaged with history, though it treats history differently than traditional or modernist approaches. Rather than simply retrieving the past, postmodernism problematizes historical knowledge, representation, and the very act of writing history. It neither assumes objective access to the past nor treats historical discourse as neutral or transparent. Postmodernism foregrounds the interpretive nature of historical narratives, showing that history, like literature, is a constructed form of meaning making. Postmodernism's engagement with history is characterized by irony, contradiction, and self awareness, where modernist art often sought to transcend history through myth or formal abstraction. Postmodern art turns back to history critically and contextually. This return is not nostalgic, rather, it questions the ideologies and assumptions behind historical narratives. It challenges grand narratives of progress, causality, and truth, insisting instead on provisionality, fragmentation, and the contextual production of meaning. Postmodernism, through historiographic metafiction, brings literature and historiography into dialogue, showing how both are shaped by narrative, language, and cultural codes. Texts such as The French Lieutenant's Woman, The Name of the Rose, and Midnight's Children do not reject historical content but emphasize the textuality and constructedness of history itself. These works draw attention to how historical facts are transformed into meaningful narratives, thereby exposing the ideological work that history performs. Hutcheon emphasizes that postmodernism does not deny the existence of the past, it questions the ways in which that past is accessed, represented, and understood today. She draws on thinkers like Hayden White to support the idea that historical writing is itself a form of discourse shaped by rhetorical strategies, institutional norms, and ideological assumptions. This means history is not a transparent window onto the past, but a selective interpretive process. The influence of semiotics, feminism, Marxism, and deconstruction has helped reveal how historiography, like literature, is embedded in systems of power and meaning. In historiographic metafiction, postmodern writers acknowledge the historical referent but explore how access to it is mediated by language and narrative. Novels often blend real historical figures and events with fictional inventions, not to blur the line irresponsibly but to demonstrate that both history and fiction use similar tools to shape understanding. The goal is not to eliminate the historical referent, but to show its construction and implication in contemporary cultural systems. Postmodernism does not abandon history, but revisits it critically. It refuses simplistic distinctions between fact and fiction, objectivity and subjectivity, and embraces the contradictions inherent in representing the past. By situating art and theory within historical and ideological contexts, postmodernism opens space for a more nuanced, self aware engagement with history that resists totalization while affirming its cultural significance.